Hi, my name is Buddy Pitcock, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the shuttle disaster of 1986. And so sadly, it only took 73 seconds before the ship exploded and blew up and the crew members died. And so there's a lot of things that could have been different. There's a lot of things that they could have prepared for and done differently in order to prevent this. Some of the things that NASA could have done differently is they could have launched on another day. As it was one of the days, being the coldest recorded launch day, where they had not tested in these conditions. They had not tested whether or not the mechanics or the functionality of a rocket would be able to work under these types of conditions. They didn't even test in that cold of weather. And so what ended up happening is these O-rings that were meant to seal weren't strong enough. They didn't have the elasticity as they should have inside warmer weather, and so there was a leak, and eventually this leakage caused the wreck and the explosion. And so a few things is they shouldn't have launched that day in order to prevent this, because they were unprepared for it. But they also could have tested these things in those types of weathers to see if it was something possible. They also could have taken the advice of Roger Boisley in order to test it more than once, test it differently. It was interesting, as I was read, they only tested the O-rings once, and as soon as it passed, they're like, it's good. It no longer needs to be tested again, right? And so it's these things, these faulty things, that allow us to move too quickly and overcome and overstep our boundaries, and accidents tend to happen. And so going back to Roger Boisley, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but Roger, he came and was like, hey, listen, we need to reinforce these. They're not strong enough because they're due to the leakage. And so he came up with an idea to protect it, to make it stronger, and they shut him down. Ultimately, I think he was in the right. I think you need to do what is morally correct. Whether or not you lose millions of dollars, it's more important to save lives. And so I think it was smart of him to come out and say that. Ultimately, what ended up happening is he had to speak against management. He had to tell them, no, that's not right. We didn't have the safety precautions we should have. And it was tough for him, being the age that he was at and being old, and going against upper management. Who would want to keep somebody like that who goes against you? You're going to be sued. You're going to lose a lot of money in management. And so it's hard to keep somebody like that on your team, even though it's morally correct. Ultimately, I see this as a progress in the future. I see this as a step forward to learn from this so that we don't make similar mistakes, and that we're able to really communicate effectively and bluntly to show expectations and know what is right. To prove that lives are more important. And so if we tell exactly how it is, and we communicate clearly, and we act morally, then accidents like this shouldn't happen. And so, like it says, I think going against management, if it's morally correct and to protect the public, it needs to be done. Thank you. Have a great day.